Today will be Kajai Stokes' junior season. After 2 years at Tulane, we've got an interesting decision to potentially make. Do we enter the transfer portal, or do we stick with the green wave? We can play for any big program we want, other than Georgia. We have a picking of over 130 teams across the FBS, and if we want to contend for a championship, we can go anywhere. And with us becoming a pretty high-level player, maybe we've outgrown Tulane in the American Athletic, coming off the season with 12 sacks, being used as a part-time hybrid edge rusher. On the flip side, though, we have a really good thing going with Tulane. I like playing with this defense. I like the coaching staff. I think the defensive coordinator has really used us in a valuable way, but it's also clear that this team is probably never going to win a national championship. I think the Temple game being down 34-0 at halftime kind of told us that. So I have decided that we will enter the transfer portal, and our new school will be right down the road. We are going to LSU. It feels fitting, full circle, if you will, because LSU was another one of the schools we considered when we decided to sign with Tulane. We're staying in the state of Louisiana, but we're going to the SEC. We're going to a program that I believe we can compete for a national championship with, one of the most storied programs in college football. Now, we have a choice of jersey numbers here. Number 5, what we wore at Tulane, is taken, but 18 and 7 are both available. These are two numbers that are sacred in LSU football, and we had the chance to wear either one of them. I think we're going to wear number 7. It feels only right since we're picking LSU. Getting to wear the number 7 is a huge honor. We're coming into our junior season as an 87 overall. I'm going to upgrade our pass rushing stats a little bit. I would imagine we're going to be used a little bit less as an edge rusher than we did previously. We are working with a new defensive coordinator. We might go back to being a traditional linebacker. We start the season ranked number 4. Our opening game is against Duke. A couple weeks after that, we head to South Beach, facing off against Miami, also ranked in the top 5. And then SEC play is going to be challenging with 4 ranked teams, including number 2, Alabama, at home in Week 11. One of the big reasons why I transferred from Tulane is because their offense just didn't cut it. We've got 89 overall, Jaron Kiwe Sonia Pulete, who will be the starting quarterback for us this year, while Tulane rolls with a new freshman. We've got a true freshman running back with Pat Winston and a young group of receivers. Not the highest rated offense, but the defense looks loaded. A lot of really good players on this side of the ball, and I'm excited to get to play with all of these talented players. The Tulane crew was good, but this crew might be a little bit better. We're going to get our first NIL offer here at LSU. I imagine being at a big program in the SEC like this, we're probably going to have more NIL opportunities since we're playing for more of a national brand. Our very first game will be in the Kickoff Classic against number 18 Duke. A little bit ironic that we're starting against the Blue Devils, because if you remember in our first game as a freshman at Tulane, that was also against Duke. So our debut game with both schools is against the Blue Devils. And if you remember, we lost that game to Duke in double overtime on the road. Super high scoring game. We had a scoop and score touchdown in the first quarter. Didn't do that much otherwise. But let's see what we can do now a couple years later with a new team with even better players surrounding us on defense. And hopefully we no longer have trolls on the offensive side of the ball. Coming into the year ranked number 4 with major playoff aspirations. And we're already on the board. First play of the season with an early tackle on the running back, Jamie Pilgrim. A first down now for Duke here in Georgia. I guess kind of a home game probably for them because they're closer, but we also have more fans, I would guess, than Duke. So I'm not really sure. Second and inches. Oh, we had a chance at that ball. The one thing we have not done with Kajai Stokes is grab that first interception, mainly since we've become more of a hybrid edge rusher used around the line of scrimmage. But I'm hoping since we're probably going to be a traditional linebacker this year, we'll finally get that pick as we stop the quarterback trying to scramble to the outside. That was a 4th down as well. So your boy gets a huge stop defensively. We do trail, though, 3-0 nearing the end of the first half. Our offense has given us nothing up to this point. Quarterback looks to throw. It's going to be a screen. We've got an easy chance for a hit. A big one right around the line of scrimmage. And that should just about wrap up a low-scoring first half. Seems very similar to our days at Tulane. The defense looks strong and the offense plays horrible. I'm not going to panic. It's only one half. that this is not exactly an encouraging start. We have 2 rushing yards and have had the ball for less than 4 minutes. That's not very good. Luckily, the defense is keeping us in the game because they have a whopping 5 rushing yards. We are lined up closer to the line of scrimmage here, looking to beat the left tackle. Unfortunately, unable to. Duke's going to end up with a big play after the catch, and it ends up as a touchdown. And all of a sudden, it feels like our offense has to get rolling. It's going to be a little bit harder when we do line up as an edge rusher, given that, these Power Conference, regularly SEC tackles are going to be a little bit bigger than the guys we were playing against in the American. Luckily, the offense would respond. It's 10-7 now in the fourth quarter as the running back spins away. We individually have not had a very good game. Only a few tackles so far. Not much in the backfield. It's been a quiet LSU debut for KJ. A pivotal play here, 3rd down and 1 for Duke. Quarterback looks to throw it. Stokes in off the blitz as it's caught for a first down with a big stiff arm. A great play there by the tight end off the pass from Anthony Ahmed. 4th and inches. They're going to go for it on the toss, get the first down. That is a gutsy decision to go for it, but they clearly want to make it a 2-score game. They're going to take us off the field in the red zone. Cannot say I love that. Duke ends up with a field goal, and our offense, down by 6, does nothing. So with under 30 seconds left, it's not looking good. They are going to kneel out the clock. The 4th-ranked LSU Tigers upset here in Game 1 of the year against Duke, 13-7. I am getting flashbacks to my days at Tulane because our offense gave us nothing in this game. All they needed to do was score more than 13. Now, granted, I did not have the best individual game, only 4 tackles, but at Tulane, we usually struggled the first game of the year. We got to, get back into the swing of things as we sign another NIL deal. Luckily, our matchup here in Week 2 should be a little bit easier. We're playing against FCS Southwest. First home game of the year. We're going to rock the throwback LSU uniforms today. And the walkout at Tigers Stadium has to be one of the coolest in the game. I mean, this is obviously one of college football's best atmospheres. I don't think we are at Tulane anymore. They had a hard time filling up that much smaller stadium. Here in Baton Rouge, every seat in the house will be filled for every game this year in one of the loudest venues of the country. Actually, I lied. The loudest venue. Look at the stadium pulse at the top right. Ranked number 1 in college football as we're already in the backfield with our first tackle for loss of the year on the very first play of the game. We have a bigger home field advantage than any team across college football. On the second play of the game, another TFL. Quarterback keeps it on the option, and we sniff it from a mile away. 3rd down now for FCS Southwest. I think their team name is the Groupers. Although when I first read the team name, I thought it said something else, as the defense does get the stop. Stokes with pressure in the backfield. We nearly had 3 TFLs on all 3 plays. They actually gave us credit for an assisted tackle there, so I guess we did. I don't know why they gave us credit for the tackle, though. The quarterback very clearly threw the ball. As we're in with another tackle, flying around the field early. Now, granted, this is an FCS opponent. These guys are not very good, but it's great to see us all over the field early. That's already 5 tackles in this game as we move into the second quarter with a 10-0 lead. The offense understood the assignment, playing a little bit better than last week. Stokes trying to get this sack, not quite able to, as the quarterback is able to get rid of the ball right as we're in the backfield with a hit. Now a 2nd down up the middle. Stokes in the backfield again. What is that, 4 TFLs, I think, at this point? They've all been assisted, but hey, a tackle for loss is a tackle for loss, regardless of who we make the tackle with. Now a 3rd down and long for FCS. Under pressure, fumble! Stokes picks up the ball! A scoop and recovery for the defense. Kajai Stokes with the fumble recovery. I think they gave us an assisted tackle there too, although they're not going to credit us with the fumble force. 7 tackles in this game, bunch of TFLs, now a fumble recovery. We are all over the field. 7 first-half tackles for number 7 in a 17-0 lead. The rest of the defense seems to be eaten as well. Big stop in the backfield. Now a 3rd down and long for FCS Southwest. Still in the first half. QB looks to throw it up the middle. Stokes with a chance to bring down the receiver, shy of the first down marker, and he does. This is as good of the first half as I have seen from Kajai Stokes in his career. Again, granted, the level of competition is not great, but we're balling out 24-0. Stokes tries to get in the backfield, cannot. Short throw to the running back. Stokes going sideline to sideline. They are not going to credit us with the tackle, although we did help bring him down. Down to about 8 seconds now, under pressure, and the LSU defense is in the backfield with another sack, and that will probably wrap up the first half. They're going to take us off the field as we move into the third quarter. A complete blowout for the Tigers. This is a lot more what we expected when we transferred here. Not the team who scored 7 points and lost the opener against Duke, as we are now at 9 assisted tackles. Trying to get some solos in there. There's one. Tackle for loss on the running back, Blue Redmond. 10 carries, 8 yards. Yikes. Now a 3rd down and 14 late in the quarter. It's 31-0 now as Stokes is in the backfield yet again. We could build some property in the backfield. We've been there so much in this game. We did not end up playing the fourth quarter since we're up by so much, and sure enough, the Tigers do get the win by a final score of 31-0. A great showing for the fellas as we improve to 1-1 on the year. Stokes individually with one of his most impressive games of his career. We finished with 11 total tackles in this game, negative 40 rushing yards for the other team. Ouch. 11 tackles, 9 assisted, 5 for a loss. The whole team had a bunch of TFLs. It was not just us. Not to mention, we had the fumble recovery forced by our teammate Tylen Singleton. Our coach, Brian Kelly, is pleased with our performance. I think I'm going to give a polite answer. To be honest, I'm a little bit scared of Brian Kelly. He did say on national television that he thinks his entire team should be executed.
Yeah, I'm in favor of execution. Maybe our entire team needs to be executed after tonight.
I would rather be on his good side than his bad side. Our defensive coordinator, Blake Baker, is talking to us about our starting outside linebacker who's injured. We've got a backup who's being thrusted into a starting role for our big game against Miami. We're going to go in the film room and hopefully get him prepared for a huge matchup against the Canes. Coming off a win last week, I figured I would use some of our skill points. We're up to 25 now. Rather than focus on our ratings, I'm going to get Platinum Robber, and I'm going to get House Call. I want to be more productive in coverage, have a better chance of potentially getting turnovers and interceptions, and I think our lateral movement being better in coverage, along with better interception animations, will probably help us. Miami, like us, has already lost a game this year. They are number 12. We are number 9. I'm pretty sure the two highest-ranked teams who have lost this year. So this is a huge game for both of these teams. Cannot afford to lose 2 non-con games, especially us playing in the SEC, which is a stronger level of competition than Miami will see as we get a tackle on the first play of the game. I think we've done that in all 3 games so far. And that was a TFL as well. Miami moving it pretty well to start. Patrick Creighton Jr., the quarterback, keeps it on the scramble and gets the first down. We've actually played against Creighton before. He was at Rice with us in the American Conference, so this is a guy we have seen in the past. 7-3 lead for LSU here into the second quarter. Creighton sends a screen to the running back, and we get completely ran through like a sorority girl on a Friday night. I mean, at least our teammate was there to finish off the job, but we've got to bring him down. He looked like a big running back, but still, no excuse. Still 7-3. There's a nice move by the back. Stokes is able to push him, but it's not before moving forward for a first down. 7-6 into the third. Another bad start for the offense, but luckily we're winning. Stokes nearly gets the sack, if not for the block by the running back. And apparently the receiver was inbounds on that play to get the first down. That was a really nice job to drag the foot in. Another screen. Stokes looking to cut it to the outside, and we are going to get credit with the tackle. I mean, I guess so. We pushed our teammate into the receiver, so that's got to go for something, right? The Canes nearing midfield, looking to potentially take the lead. Another screen. Boom! That's a lot more like it. Big hit. Well, the tackle for loss by Kajai Stokes, and they will immediately take us out of the game for Lord knows what reason. Still 7-6, nearing the end of the third, as Creighton keeps it himself, and he gets clobbered for a loss. Stokes getting busy here in the second half against Miami. That inconsistent first game proving to be a facade. We have been a menace in the backfield. We did it against FCS Southwest. Not a very good opponent, but now we're doing it on the road against Miami. Creighton looking deep. It's caught! Double teamed. Doesn't matter. Come on, guys. You can't let them come down with that ball. What are we doing? They're going to take us out of the game, and Miami ends up scoring a touchdown. They did miss the 2-point conversion, but our offense ended up sitting on their hands and doing nothing. Miami gets it back. Another solid hit by KJ. Defense cannot let Miami score a touchdown. We're already down by 5. Field goal isn't ideal, but at least that would make it a 1-score game. Creighton looking deep again for the heavens. It is broken up. Big third down stop defensively. Offense. Jerron, buddy, I need you here. You guys have scored 7 points today. Nothing since the first quarter. Please give me something. No. They had the ball for not even a minute. That is embarrassing. It's like we're back at Tulane. This offense has even more trolls. The difference is they have high ratings. Stokes on the read option again. Those delayed handoffs and those read options where the QB keeps it, that's money for us because we're in the backfield and read those plays super quickly. Big play here, 3rd and 7. Creighton goes short, and it's caught! I was trying to go for the ball there. I should have just played the receiver. Miami gets the first down. Creighton keeps it again. Stokes tackles him once more. They give us the assisted tackle, even though I was clearly the only guy there. Now past the 2-minute warning, it's 3rd down. They're just going to run the ball. Probably the right decision. I think they are in field goal range. It's not a gimme of a kick, around 50 yards. Miami usually has good kickers. Ultimately, they would make it, down by 8. The offense does not score. Great. The LSU Tigers are 1-2. We are not playing good football to start this season. Our offense has scored 7 points in each of our 2 losses. 7. That's not enough. Individually, we had a pretty good game. 9 tackles, 3 for a loss. No sacks this year, but we have been close. I feel like we're due for a couple next week. This is Lane. We're in his presentation group. Our fraternity has the test bank with old tests from previous years. I don't want the answers. We got caught last time. Every time we make a risk, it backfires. So I don't really think it's worth it. Much needed bye week in week 4. We have dropped all the way to number 19 in the rankings. If we're looking for a positive, though, Alabama is also 1-2, and they're ranked even lower than us. So at least we had that going for us. Our guy Vernon Oregon is inviting us to an EA college football tournament. It'd be kind of funny if it was like a 2K tournament, since obviously this game is not made by 2K. How is our play style? I feel like I have to choose the scrambling quarterback, right? I mean, in the Virginia Tech series, Clydepool is 96 speed. Your teammates adjust to shut down your play style, but you have fun. Wow, way to tell me I suck, EA. Hey, roommate. Is that how roommates talk after knowing each other for months? I'm going to have a few people over late tonight and tomorrow. Please don't. Your roommate's friends are the loudest human beings to ever walk the earth. They don't leave until 2 a.m., which obviously means we have a hard time sleeping. I'm not sure how I feel about this Vernon guy. Despite the fact that Florida is 4-0 and we are under 500, we are still ranked ahead of them. We'll see if the Gators can change that here in our first SEC game of the year. Even though we're not playing well so far, it feels like a clean slate. And already on the board with an early interception, which results in a pick 6. A great start to the game by safety Damon Walters. LSU already on the board early. As I was saying, though, we're not playing very well this season. An at-large bid is certainly going to be an uphill battle. But if we play really well in conference play, we could easily make the playoffs that way, preferably by winning the SEC. So even though we're not off to a good start as a team this year, we have 8 chances here in the SEC to change that, and we're off to a good start here against Florida, up 14-0. I don't know why they took us out of the game for so long, but okay, now 17-0. So individually, we haven't done much, but the team as a whole is having a great game. Nearly had a chance on that one. We were a step too late to potentially get the ball. Looks like a screen here. Clean opportunity for Stokes, and we completely whiff. Not ideal. You know, I'll sacrifice individual success for the betterment of the team. Even though it's clearly not for the betterment of the team. It's just a coincidence that the team is playing well and I'm not. As Florida is nearing the red zone. Should be able to score here before the end of the half. Only a couple tackles so far for Stokes. As we're able to not bring down the running back. We were with him for like 5 seconds, and he was still able to get off of us. Luckily, we had a teammate to finish off the play and force Florida to a field goal, but still, we've got to finish off these tackles. Into the second half, 17-3. Florida's moving it again. They've got it in the red zone. They can make it a 1-score game. Are we seriously about to be in position to blow a 17-0 lead? Not with hits like that! A big shot in the backfield for KJ. 2nd and 10, a little under 3.5 in the third. Quarterback scrambles around, and Stokes helps wrap him up after a gain of around 3. They take us off the field. Florida scores a touchdown, and we're only up by 1 possession. Not great. A little over a minute to go here in the third. Under pressure, Stokes in the backfield, and we get the sack. I almost brought him down. It was one of our teammates who got the safety, pushing him into the shrubs in the back of the end zone. And that'll make it 19-10. We would tack on a field goal and are now up by 12. So we feel a lot more comfortable than we did when it was a 7-point game. As Stokes is there with another tackle in run support. Under 6 minutes to go. Clock is ticking for the undefeated Gators as Stokes stuffs it up in the backfield for a tackle for loss. Quiet first half, but now we're starting to get rolling here in the second half. On 3rd down, quarterback looking deep. It is intercepted. Launching it into triple coverage probably was not the best idea. I guess he figured it's 3rd down. It's the 4th quarter. What do I have to lose? Not the best decision, though, buddy. Florida now has it at the 1 as Stokes is in the backfield, wraps him up in the end zone. 2 hands for safety. First career safety for Kajai Stokes. 24-10. That's our team's 2nd safety at the game. And that probably puts us in position to win. Walters joins us as well. He hit the pick 6. Really, Walters was the one who made the play, but they're going to give us credit for his safety as it's now 27-10. Late here in the... Get back! Get back! Okay, good. Might have jumped the gun a little bit there. Quarterback hit as he throws it is caught. Gets a few yards, and that'll make it a 2nd down. Minute 43 to go for the Gators, down by 17 points. Stokes lined up as an edge rusher again, nearly with a sack. Hits the quarterback as he throws it, as it is caught. Now a 4th and 7. This could be the Gators' last chance. Looking to throw it. Stokes tries to send pressure. It's caught up the middle for a 1st down. And Florida's going to stay in it for a little while longer, I guess. 2nd and 10 now, down to a minute 19 for Florida. Stokes again moving around, goes to the edge, and he collapses the pocket. Brings down the quarterback. Finally, our 1st sack of the year. We've been due for a while. We've had some close ones, but are in the backfield that time, and that'd be our last play of the game. 27-10. We finally beat an FBS opponent. It should not have taken 5 weeks, but better late than never. You got to start somewhere. We're 1-0 in SEC play. KJ with a very strong 2nd half in the win today, as he ends up with 8 tackles, 3 for a loss, a sack, and a safety as well, filling up the stat sheet. Apparently, our academic advisor from Tulane has followed us here. Kinda creepy. Your entomology... What even is entomology? I've never seen that word in my life. An extra credit assignment for anyone who catches a bug and writes a 1-page paper on it. What are we in, 1st grade? Like, what are we supposed to do when we catch the bug? Do we keep it and kill it? Or do we let it go? It seems kind of dumb for our assignment to be killing a bug. I mean, that's not ideal, right? Are we supposed to take a picture of it and then let it go? Why can't I just take a picture of a random bug in the wild? I thought I was here to play football, not play school. I didn't know they did that at LSU. All right, on to our next game, back at home against Vanderbilt. We've only played 1 home game this year, and that was against an FCS opponent. So it's nice that we're actually playing against a somewhat real team at home. I think Vanderbilt's team rating is in the 60s, but a real team, I guess. They're in the SEC, so that's got to mean something. They're probably the worst team in the SEC, though, so we really have to win this game. Stokes in the backfield delivers a huge hit on the quarterback, delivering the boom. 3-0 ball game here, an early screen, another quick tackle for Stokes as he's off to a pretty solid start. 10-0 lead here, a little bit over a minute left in the 1st half. Deep ball is caught near the 10. What a throw by Clint Goris, and a great catch by the receiver. Kind of like the Tulane defense in the sense that our secondary is good. They make a lot of plays, but they also allow a lot of big plays. They don't really know how to track the deep ball, it seems like, especially the corners. Like in one-on-one man coverage, those guys cannot track the ball to save their lives. 13 seconds left, corner of the end zone, broken up. Incomplete on 3rd down. The defense gets a stop. Vanderbilt settles for a field goal, now 10-3 to start the 3rd. Stokes in the backfield, another TFL. We had a really quiet 2nd quarter. I only have like 2 tackles today, but We've got a couple for a loss so far, so at least we've been impactful in that sense. And we have an A-plus teammate grade. Coach Kelly's happy with us, which is good because I don't really want to get executed. Another TFL, as it is 16-3. I guess we must have missed an extra point along the way. Stokes sending pressure. Quarterback hit as he throws, incomplete. Another third down stop for the defense. We are playing very well defensively here. The offense has been okay. I mean, 16 points isn't great, but considering we've only allowed 3, we're doing good enough. Another deep ball, tip, incomplete. Another stop for the LSU defense. That was on 4th down as well. 22-3 now. Another missed PAT or 2-point conversion, I would guess, in this instance, as Stokes misses the tackle. That's another one. I think 3 weeks in a row we've had bad misses. Got to do a better job of finishing these plays. 2nd down, Stokes around the blockers into the backfield with a late sack. With just seconds left to go, Vanderbilt calls the timeout. Sack number 2 on the year for KJ with 22 seconds. Looking to throw it under pressure. Another sack for the defense. Our pass rush, much like at Tulane, has been really solid. I guess it can't really be a coincidence now that I've led 2 really, really good pass rushes, right? I've got to be a big part of it. 4th down and 35. Long ball is intercepted. And the Tigers are on their first win streak of the year. I'm going to try to give them a big block. Won't matter as LSU wins the game 22-3. We are over 500, 3-2. Seems like we're starting to figure some things out. The offense has still been kind of 22 points isn't great against like a 67 overall defense. But we only allowed 3. If our defense continues to play this well, then the offense won't need to score. 6 tackles, 5 for a loss and a sack, although Courtney Coker outdid us with 6 TFLs and a sack and a half. Another really good performance, though, for KJ, who continues to live in the backfield as we get set to play UConn, the annual SEC dumpster fire non-con game in the middle of the year for whatever reason. I feel like we've got to do a better job tackling, so I'm going to put some points into tackling along with our coverage ratings. We're now a 90 overall. Game number 6, we've made it to the halfway point of the season, returning home to face off against the Huskies from the University of Connecticut. UConn's 4-2. They've been pretty solid this year, but this is a game we should pretty easily win, I would like to think. Their rating's actually pretty much the same as Vanderbilt, interestingly enough, so these guys are not a complete walk in the park, but obviously a team we are quite a bit better than. Quarterback looks to throw it, goes short. Stokes trying to help out here at the end of the play. He doesn't, but luckily he didn't need to send help. Defense gets the early stop. Offense currently up 3-0, but we really haven't done anything in this game yet. Around halfway through the second quarter, finally reading the read option, finishing off the play, bringing him down for a gain of around nothing. Now on 2nd down, this one goes to the tight end, breaks the tackle. Stokes helps to finish it off, even though he allowed the catch in his zone to begin with. At the 2-minute mark here in the first half, 3-0, big hit out of bounds by Stokes, but a stinker from the offense. 3 points against UConn. That is unacceptable. Stokes sending pressure, big hit, pass broken up in the secondary, but there is a flag. Really? They're going to give us a late hit for that? Come on. That is weak. It would have been 3rd and 19, too, but instead, UConn gets to keep the drive going. The good news is they didn't score off of it. The bad news is it's still 3-0. Defense sacks him in the end zone for a safety. That'll make it 5-0. If the offense isn't going to score, we'll do it for them, I guess. I mean, it's embarrassing that our offense is this bad. 3 points in the first half at home against UConn. That's wild. Luckily, we scored off the turnover, so we're up 12-0 going into the fourth. So at least we have a nice lead. Still can't say I feel great about the offense. Stokes covering the running back. Fumbles it! Picked up by the offensive lineman as Stokes is there to wrap him up inside the 10-yard line. It is a 4th down and 35. Do you go for it here? They are. I don't think I would. I think it's too early. I would probably punt it, especially because their defense has been good. Stokes with a hit. Quarterback goes deep. Broken up. That one is incomplete. I would like to think we could score a touchdown, but we didn't. Starting at the 7. We had to settle for a field goal. 15-0 with 5:20 to play. Defense working a shutout. Stokes in the backfield for half a sack. We had some help from the big guy there to bring him down as well. Even though we didn't get a lot of sacks early in the year, we were clearly sending pressure in the backfield. I said we were due, and clearly that was the case. Our sack numbers are going up. Holy cow, what a catch on 3rd and like 20. Tip of the cap. One hell of a grab. On 1st down, they're going to send it to the running back. Stokes with a big hit. And that would be all she wrote. An 18-0 win for LSU. The defense pitches a shutout. Love to see it. The offense, not great. I didn't want to panic early in the year, but we are now halfway through. And the offense clearly is not very good, much like at Tulane. 6 tackles, 2 for a loss, half a sack. Pretty solid showing for KJ here in the win against the Huskies. LSU has now won 3 in a row. We're 4-2. Logitech will be offering us an NIL deal. We're going to say yes to that. We are also going to speak with our academic advisor, all C's on the midterms. That's better than how we did at Tulane. We're making progress. That brings us to a big game here against Texas A&M. They're number 19. We're number 13. So we're right on the bubble right now of the playoff spot, and we are 2-0 in SEC play. I feel like if we win this game, we can really get a lot of momentum within the conference race. The problem is I don't know how much I trust this offense to not suck. I mean, we couldn't even score 20 points against UConn, for crying out loud. Defense is doing their job. We've allowed 3 points over the last 2 weeks, but we're going to start playing better offenses. You don't get Vanderbilt and UConn on the schedule every week here in the SEC. Stokes in the backfield with a sack. I think that's 3.5 over our last 4 weeks. So that sack number going up and up, over 20 now on our career after 6 as a freshman and 12 last year as a sophomore. 7-7 here in the second quarter. Here's a big play for the Aggies. They're actually going to take it all the way for a touchdown, and Texas A&M is able to take the lead as it's now 14-7. Not a good display of tackling by the defensive backs. That was hard to watch. Well, I don't know if our offense can score 14 points. They haven't shown that they can consistently do that, so we might be in some trouble. That means the pressure is on for the defense as Stokes is there to help out with the tackle. Kind of a quiet individual game for us other than the sack. Nearing the end of the third quarter, Stokes with a nice play in the backfield. Now it seems like we're starting to heat up a little bit. I think Stokes is better in the second half of the games than he is in the first half, which I guess is a good thing. Probably. Second half, very important. Still 14-7 here into the fourth as Stokes has a clean avenue at the running back, and instead he got injured on that hit. The running back deflects him away, and Stokes appeared to have gotten banged up there. So they're going to take him out for the rest of the game. A game that we end up losing. 7 points. 7. That is completely inexcusable. Defense only allowed 17. That's not that much. That normally should be enough to win. But not with these goofballs on the offensive side of the ball. 4 tackles, 2 for a loss, and a half a sack for KJ. Kaifuku Technologies will be giving us our next NIL deal with a massage chair. I like the sound of that. Sign me up. Not like Deshaun Watson, though. I like massages, but like consensual massages from chairs. Not the Deshaun Watson stuff. No. We're still in 5th place in the SEC, despite our loss to A&M. So there is room for us to play a little bit better as we are headed to Gamecock country. Columbia, South Carolina, facing off against the Gamecocks here in Week 8. LSU started the year number 4. We are now unranked. A fall from grace for the Tigers, who are currently battling to stay afloat in the SEC race and stay above 500. We pretty much have to win out if we want any chance of a playoff spot or an SEC championship berth. So we've got to perform well as we're there with the tackle. We do allow the first down, though, wearing the purple jerseys today. LSU, of course, kind of different. They wear the white jerseys often, especially at home. But I do want to get the purples out there a few games this year. Into the second quarter, we're winning. I don't believe it. We are winning against a somewhat quality opponent for the first time maybe ever, it feels like. Stokes individually has had a solid start to the game so far. Not a whole lot in the backfield, but we have had a few hits in run support, including that one. They give us credit for the whole tackle, even though we clearly did not get the whole tackle, but I'll take it. Helps our stats, I guess. Still 7-0 now. Second down for the Gamecocks. Short throw is caught. Stokes pushes him down behind the first down marker. Good hit. Now looking at a third down for South Carolina, around a 3rd and 9 at the 2-minute mark in the first half. Stokes unable to bring the receiver down all the way, but the contact initiated by Oz leads to the hit. 4th and 3. They're going to go for it. Stokes sending pressure, and it's intercepted. Tylen Singleton, the other star linebacker, and he's going to take it all the way for a house call. I would like to think, even though I'm not going to get any stats for that, my hit on the quarterback jarring his throw was a big reason why we made that play happen. Obviously, credit to Tylen making the play on the ball and taking it to the crib, but it doesn't happen with me, I'm just saying. Into the second half, Stokes getting things started with an early tackle for loss. 5 tackles today, all of which are solo tackles. Pretty impressive. 3rd down and 10 now for South Carolina. Another great showing so far for us on the defensive side of the football. QB looks to throw it under pressure, and it's a fumble picked up by the running back. Since he threw it behind, that was a live ball. So a good job by the running back to recover, but we get the stop anyway, running off the field. Why would number 88 be playing defense? I think that's our roommate, Oregon, who had visitors in our room a few weeks ago who I didn't like. Tried to hit stick the running back there. That failed miserably. Quarterback Nick DeLuca tripled his yards on that play. South Carolina only would settle for a field goal on that possession. It's 14-3. 14 points is not a lot. It is pretty good for our standards, though. 5 minutes to go in the fourth. Stokes sending pressure. He's in the backfield with a half a sack. Stokes was the one who initiated it that time, although the big fella helped us finish off the job. 4th and 14. South Carolina obviously has to go for it at this point. Stokes sending pressure. Quarterback hit as he throws. Pass is overthrown, tipped, and incomplete. So the defense is able to get the stop. Will the offense score? They do. 21-3. Oh, I almost had the interception. We are there with the pass deflection. Good play on the receiver. But I thought I was going to pick that ball off. 4th and 7. They've got to go for it. Another close play at the ball. I feel like we're due for that interception, man. We're close. We're close. LSU gets the win, 21-3. Solid performance here against South Carolina. That'll push us up to 5-3 on the season. Stokes with a solid game. We had a sack, 5 solo tackles, 3 assisted, 3 TFLs, and we also had the hit on the quarterback leading to the Tylen Singleton pick 6. LSU is a new quarterback. It looks like our veteran got injured. We had a freshman in there who did not play very well. So what happened to our guy, Jaron Kiwi Sonia-Pulete? Even though he wasn't playing all that well, I am still pretty curious. So a couple of weeks ago, he tore his labrum, and he'll be out for pretty much the remainder of the regular season. He might come back for our last game. I don't know if we really want him back, though. This team we're about to play is really good on offense, but we're an elite defensive team. It's a big ask, but I'm challenging your unit to only allow 1 red zone touchdown to get the win. I'm really hoping we do, because if not, again, Brian Kelly scares me a little bit. We're back in the rankings, number 20, 5-3, only 1 conference loss, as we're set to face off against the Rebels of Ole Miss. They are 1-4 in SEC play. It has not been great as we get to run out to the night sky here at Tigers Stadium against Ole Miss. I will say that I'm a little bit concerned of this challenge that Coach Kelly has given us. The last time we had a coach challenge was the game last year against Temple, and we were down 34-0 at the half against them. So I'd rather not be reminded of that abomination. Ole Miss's opening drive, LSU started with the ball and scored a whole 0 points, just as we all could have predicted. Stokes with an early tackle, again on the first play of the game defensively, which continues to be the thing with him. Here's his second tackle. It is a solid gain of 7, though, through the air for Ole Miss, who is moving it pretty well. Kind of slowly, but they are moving it well here towards the end of the quarter. Stokes has been busy, though. 3 tackles so far, 2 solo and an assisted. But Ole Miss is marching on the doorstep of the end zone here to start this second. Stokes looking to send pressure off the edge. That ball's out! Stokes picks it up. Unfortunately, we cannot break away. If only we had a step on that lineman, that could have been a scoop and score. But the defense forces a turnover in the red zone. Kajai Stokes picks up the fumble, his second recovery of the year. The strip sack made by Courtney Coker. This guy is good. We've got a lot of good players in this front seven, much like Tulane. Maybe it's because I make our guys better. Maybe that's it. I mean, some of these guys, especially at LSU, are obviously pretty naturally talented, though. Nearly an interception. Oh, my goodness, that was close. Of course, the offense did not score off the turnover because they are completely useless. Here's the quarterback scrambling around, and he is sacked. It's Zima Umezulu who brings him down. The front four and the front seven as a whole continuing to play well, but Ole Miss is moving it down the field. They're going to send it short to the running back. Stokes helps yank him down. Looks like by the shoulder, kind of almost a horse collar. Nearing the 2-minute mark, still scoreless. That one is hauled in. Not going to get in the end zone, though. And then they are, of course, going to take us out because logic. 4th and goal at the 1. Ole Miss will go for it. Interesting decision. I would understand taking the points just because, points. No one has scored yet. But they do get the touchdown, and that'll make it 7-0. That might be all the points they need to win this game. We'll see. LSU not only did not score, but I think we turned the ball over because Ole Miss has great field position. Quarterback runs around, runs right by Stokes. I wanted to go for the big hit. Instead, it's a big play for Ole Miss. At the 1, quarterback loses yards on the option. Stokes brings him down, strap him up. 10-0 now into the 3rd. That one is floated up, and it is intercepted. Way to drag the toesies in bounds. Another takeaway for the LSU defense. Hey, offense, can we score? Maybe? Please? Ideally not too much to ask, as the interception is hauled in on the play by one of our corners, Joel Rogers. Did we score? No, but they did. 17-0 going into the 4th. Will LSU be shut out again? Stokes in the backfield, another sack. We did not get a sack, remember, the first 3 games of the year, but we've gotten at least half a sack in our last 6 games. I think 5 of those 6 games we've at least won full. All of them have been off of blitzes, though, interestingly. There's another one! Big hit in the backfield. It is 17-7 now. We finally scored. And with a big play there, maybe we can get our offense the ball back. Maybe we can do a little something. I don't know. Do I expect us to score 10 points in 5.5 minutes? Not really, because I don't know if we can score 10 points in a whole game. But, we're leaving the door open. Stokes sending pressure. That one is caught! Yeah, I don't like our chances now. Good throw by Jerjon Newton. Ole Miss did not score, but neither would we on our next possession. Ole Miss has it near the goal line. That ball's out! LSU recovers the fumble. Another takeaway for the defense. We are starting with the ball at like the 3-yard line. There is no excuse not to score here. We have to get 7, and once we do, we will be back in the game. What does the offense do? They end up scoring 7. Thank God. So we are within 3. We've got 3 timeouts. Let's let our offense get the ball back to probably mess it up. Or not. Big starts at the drive for Lorenzo Boss, who's been a boss today. 88 yards on the ground. Our run defense has been as good as anyone's in college football, but he's had a big game. Quarterback keeps it on the option. He gets the first down, and that probably just about does it. It is not looking good for the Tigers. One more first down officially does it. They're not going to get it on that play. Kajai Stokes in the backfield with the TFL on the Boss. Now on 2nd down, they're going to send it left. They don't get much. Stokes is there again. And we're looking at a 3rd down and 10. If we get a stop here, we'll have like 20-ish seconds. Maybe. They're going to throw the ball, surprisingly, but it works out. Ole Miss gets the first down, and that should do it. I wouldn't have thrown it. I would have run it to guarantee that LSU does not have a lot of time left, but I'm not the coach. What do I know? Ole Miss comes into Death Valley and knocks off the Tigers 17-14. The offense put up a fight late with 14 points in the 4th quarter. Granted, one of those 2 drives they started at the 3. The opposing 3, to be specific. And they also scored 0 points through the first 3 quarters. Kind of hard to win when that's the case. KJ played another good game, had 2 sacks in this one. But it's not enough as we take the loss 5-4. Not ideal. That's not without arguably a career game for Stokes. 11 tackles, 4 for a loss, 2 sacks, and a fumble recovery. But the freshman, Eric Schuster, yikes. He was terrible. Coach Kelly, tough loss, but that was a good team. Back to work. I don't think I want to be around Brian Kelly this week just to be safe. So unfortunately, do not complete the challenge. A little less embarrassing than last year's challenge, though, against Temple. So there's that. We're making progress. 5-4 will be out of the rankings, I would assume, with 3 weeks to go. The coaching staff is liking what they're seeing from us. I cannot imagine they are liking what they're seeing from the guys on the other side of the ball. But at least I'm playing well. Our calendar shows that you have a data analytics test this week. I really want to score well, because I just want to make sure we have enough eligibility. It's also probably a little bit easier to score well at LSU compared to Tulane. How are we not winning any Players of the Weeks, though? I feel like we should have at least one, and if it were to happen, it would have had to be last week. This guy, Tyrese Soliday, had an interception, a PBU, a fumble force, and 2 recoveries. Fair enough, I guess. Although we had a bunch of tackles, 2 sacks, fumble recovery. He was also responsible for like 3 or 4 turnovers, so I can't really get too upset. As we're set to face off against Alabama, arguably the 2 most disappointing teams in the country this year. I think Alabama started the season at number 2. They've been a little better than us. I think they're 6-3. We're 5-4. They are ranked, but they have not been great themselves this year. It's the battle of mid. So much so that they're starting the game at 1:30. You'd think LSU and Alabama would be a night game, but since both teams are probably not going to make the playoff, we are starting in the middle of the afternoon. So that means the national audience does not get to watch Kajai Stokes ball out. Couple early tackles in this game. Into the second quarter, LSU's actually winning. Stokes sending pressure, but it doesn't matter because nobody on this team can tackle. Great. A long touchdown for the Tide. And they take the lead 7-3. That was a pathetic display of tackling by our defensive backs. Corey Butler Jr. with the score. As that'll bring us to the following Alabama drive. Good field position at around the 25. Stokes bounces off his blocker. Quickly there to help out with the tackle. They gave us the full tackle there. Alabama's nearing the end zone. They're going to go for it here on 4th and 3 with under a minute left in the half. Quarterback under pressure. We get to him. Ball's out. Picked up by the offensive lineman. But the defense holds the Crimson Tide out of the end zone. It'll likely be 7-3 going into halftime. Into the third quarter now. Deep shot intercepted. That was a really bad throw. They're going to give us the tackle assist, I guess, for helping tackle our own teammates. We got a field goal out of that, although Alabama would later add a touchdown. It's 14-6. Late in the third, Stokes drags down the running back. We don't have that many tackles today, but they've all been solo. Into the fourth quarter, 14-6. I don't think we had any TFLs, no sacks. It's been a quiet, statistical game for KJ. We nearly get the sack, but they end up getting the first down conversion. Terrence Durbin with the throw. Certainly do not want them to score and make it a 2-possession game. Although I don't trust our offense to get a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. That feels like a big ask. Stokes with another tackle. Clock is ticking. Under 6 to go here against the 20th ranked Tide. Handoff up the middle. Stokes helps again, but that will go for a first down. 3 assisted tackles now, I believe all 3 of which are on this drive. Despite the #1 stadium pulse, the crowd is not that loud. I mean, it's hard to blame them when you know the offense is probably not going to come back. Up the middle. Intercepted! If the offense can't score, how about the defense? Big return, nearing the 50. Now the offense needs a touchdown and a 2 to tie the game up. Will we do it? Put your guesses in the comments, gentlemen. We did! But Alabama scored a touchdown and won the game. They didn't even have us on the drive at all for that last possession from Alabama. So our offense, and one of the biggest drives of the year, they do actually score. To their credit, but the defense without KJ in the game comes short. 6 tackles for Stokes, none for a loss, and no sacks. Our first game without a TFL since the opener against Duke. Your results are back. You did pretty well. Look at us. Kajai Stokes, the data analytic person. Vital Yiz Physiotherapy is going to give us an NIL deal. That is a big word. That's a lot of vowels. 5-5 LSU, 5-5 Arkansas in a rivalry game. I mean, if we can't make the playoff or contend for the SEC title, let's at least win some rivalry games. We did not win our rivalry game last week against Alabama, so hopefully we can do so today. Our bowl eligibility is also on the line. If we lose out, we will not even make a bowl game, which would be a major disappointment. Good run to the outside for a first down. Stokes finishes off the play. A gain of 14, though, for Joaquim Rosa. Into the second quarter, 7-0 lead for LSU. Stokes in the backfield with a TFL on DJ McKinney. It's nice that we're actually playing with a lead. That hasn't really been the case a lot this year, especially not against somewhat competent opponents. I mean, Arkansas is not great, but they're not horrible either. Stokes, they're going to not give us an assisted tackle. I guess, to be fair, they really shouldn't have. We just kind of elbowed him. 10-0. We're actually scoring the ball. 10 points in the first half is not a lot, but for our standards, it's pretty good. As that one is intercepted! Batted around for the big man. It's a pick six. And LSU adds to the lead. Gabriel Relaford makes it 17-0. How did that play work? It bounced in the air like 3 times, and he made a good play on the ball. Why does Arkansas have the Walmart logo on the field? That looks really dumb. With all due respect to Walmart, I have no beef with your company. I was just there a couple days ago. But why is that logo on the field? Stokes, no, he just kicked the ball! Oh, man, that was our chance at an interception. We just kicked the ball. I mean, it wasn't really catchable, but still. We're not playing soccer. We're trying to catch the ball, not kick it. Stokes is in the backfield there with half a sack. Good to get on the board with one after we did not record a sack at all against Alabama, ending our sack streak at like 6 games. Big hit on the running back, Joaquim Rosa. Stokes delivering the boom. 24-0 late in the third. Shout out the offense actually showing up for once. As Stokes is there helping with the tackle again. Arkansas does not get the first down. A 4th and inches to start the fourth quarter. Do they go for it? I think down by 24. You kind of have to. Yeah, they are. This is probably the right call. 4th and inches for the Hogs. They're going to keep it on the option. Quarterback does not get it. The LSU defense with the stop. We're up big. Now 27-0. The offense finally with a strong showing. It only took us 11 games. Batted away, incomplete. Another 4th down stop for the Tiger defense. We would score a field goal off of that. It's 30-0 at the 2-minute mark here in the fourth quarter. QB looks to throw it under a lot of pressure on the blitz. Another sack. That's 5. Gabriel Relaford, he's had a nice game at the pick 6 earlier. Brings him down. Another 4th here for the Hogs. A 4th down and 12. Arkansas looking to avoid the shutout. Their offense is playing a lot like ours. Quarterback looks deep. It is tipped and incomplete. A dominant rivalry win for LSU. Where has this been in all my life? 30-0. The Tigers are going bowling. Going into the year, I was hoping we would not, that wouldn't be the standard in Game 11. I was hoping we would compete for a playoff spot instead. But, things change. The offense severely underperforms, and, well, plans change. I guess that's all I can really say there. Solid game for KJ. Nothing all that spectacular, though. 6 tackles, 2 for a loss, and a half sack. Shout out Gabriel Relaford, though. 4 TFLs, 2 sacks, and a pick 6. He had himself a day. We're going to talk with our academic advisor again. We have a major project due in 2 weeks for our literature class. Why are we taking literature classes still? We're a junior. Didn't we get all, the prerequisites done by now? Does Kajai not know how to set up his schedule? Or maybe his advisor doesn't know what they're doing. That might be it. We cannot escape this Lady Mary. One more regular season game to go. Senior day. Final game of the year at Tiger Stadium against 3-8 Oklahoma, who also started the year ranked. So if you think we've been disappointing, at least we're going to a bowl game. Oklahoma has 3 wins. They have been really bad. A battle of 2 of the more underperforming teams in the SEC as Stokes walks out to the crowd. What is this guy doing? Why is he so excited? We're 6-5, not 11-0. What is there to be excited about? Still enjoyable to walk the walk for one last time here as a junior, and maybe our last time ever. Who knows? We have a big decision to make at the end of the year with the NFL draft and the transfer portal potentially calling our name. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Right now, we are staying in the present for our final regular season game as a junior here at LSU. Oklahoma leads it 3-0. Short pass is caught. Stokes delivers the boom. What a hit on Eric Amato, who did get the first down. It's now 6-0 into the second. Oklahoma scoring some points. Oh, we nearly had a chance at the ball there. We've been so close to interceptions like 3 weeks in a row. EA's got to stop edging us, man. We've got to be able to finish some of these plays. Good tackle there. We do allow the catch in zone coverage, though. It is a first down. 5.5 minutes to play in the first half. A 6-0 lead here for Oklahoma. Our offense finally had a good game, and they're right back to sucking. Stokes with a big hit leads to an interception in the end zone. There's got to be a stat for like a defender when you hit the quarterback and it results in a turnover. Not just a QB hit, but like a QB hit that directly leads to an interception. Stokes off the blitz in the backfield. Another sack. I think that is sack number 7 for the man who wears number 7 on the year. Shockingly, our offense did not score off the turnover. I know, who would have thought. And it's actually now 9-0. It's a 2-score lead for Oklahoma. Stokes with a tackle behind the line of scrimmage. We've been kind of quiet for our standards the last couple of weeks, but Stokes has had himself a great showing here in the first half. 9-3 into the third, unblocked off the edge. Second sack of the game for KJ, living in the backfield against the Sooners. Oklahoma has not scored a touchdown yet, so our defense is doing something right. Under 3 minutes to go in the third. That one is caught. Stokes tackles him right at the line, and they will, unfortunately, give the receiver the first down. Now a second down for Oklahoma. Stokes beats his blocker and is there to help with the tackle. We're not just a blitzer. We can make plays off these blockers in run defense, as it's now a third down with 2 minutes to go in the third. It's a screen for the running back with a juke move. Stokes pushed into the back by the lineman, and we help with the assisted tackle. Offense, can we please score a touchdown? Please? For once? These guys have 3 wins. They have nothing to play for. They're not going bowling. They want to get the season over. They want to go bowling in Cancun, Mexico. As Stokes gets another tackle, that'll wrap up the third here in Death Valley, 9-3. The worst part about this is I think our starting quarterback, Sonia Pulete, is back. He's playing in this game. Yet we've got 3 points with him. Stokes with a big tackle. It is a nice first down, though, off the throw by Cole Welliver. 5.5 to go. Oklahoma up by 6. Big hit in the backfield. Defense holds them. Oklahoma not able to score a touchdown yet again. They would add a field goal, though, and then we would, I assume, immediately turn the ball over because they had the ball starting at the 26. Second down, under 4 to go. Welliver on the run. I thought we were going to have a chance to hit him. I thought he was going to keep scrambling. Just got to tip the cap. That was a great play by Cole Welliver. Under 3.5 minutes to go. Oklahoma looking for one more score. Running back cuts it, spin move, and he walks it in for a touchdown. Rodney Fields Jr. with the score to ice it for now, I would assume, 4-8 Oklahoma. We did not allow a touchdown here until garbage time, but the offense scored 3. 3 points with our starting quarterback healthy. And after starting the year ranked number 4 with championship aspirations, LSU wraps up the regular season with a record of 6-6. We will go to a bowl game, but it's going to be one of those crappy ones that you just kind of have on the background, probably doing holiday stuff. 19-3. This offense is something else. We left Tulane so we could play for a serious offense, but Jaron Kiwi Sonia Pulete is going 8 of 24 with an interception. That's not very serious. 10 tackles, 3 for a loss, and 2 sacks for KJ. He played very well despite the loss. 6-6, 4-4 in SEC play, 2-2 in non-conference. We got the results from your finals, all C's, not good. I don't know, maybe there's another way I can up that grade, Mary? Just a thought. We lose our fan favorite thing as Rashawn Punga, the Ohio State quarterback, wins the Heisman. Those numbers look pretty deserving. He had quite the year. Chuck Bednarik Award for Kajai Stokes is the best defensive player in the country. Bronco Nagurski Award is the best defensive player in college football. We win the Dick Butkus Award for the best linebacker. 42 tackles and no interceptions do not look like first-team All-SEC and first-team All-American stuff, but when you factor in all the TFLs, all the sacks, all the total tackles, it'll look a lot better. We're going to the Gator Bowl to play against USF, a team who we've played against in the past, interestingly. 89 tackles, 32 for a loss, 8 sacks, couple of fumble recoveries, and a lot of awards for Kajai Stokes here as a junior. It's been a phenomenal season for us individually, even though the team has been mid as hell we have played our best football. I didn't know if we could top it after last year playing in a new role, in a new scheme. Gabriel Relaford finishes second for the Bednarik and the Nagurski. So we're getting some LSU love at the top. Tylen Singleton also in the top 10 for the Dick Butkus Award. Love to see it. One more game to go, playing against USF at the Gator Bowl. This game is at the Bank of America Stadium, home of the Carolina Panthers. A little bit ironic because USF plays in Raymond James Stadium, where the Bucks play. So, in a way, they're kind of in enemy territory. They did get a lot of fans into the seats, though. It's like 50-50, even though LSU is a way bigger fan base. I guess the fans are kind of drained after going 6-6. I can't really blame them. Speaking of the Panthers, earlier today, I put together the first part of voting for franchise mode inside of Madden 26. So if you'd like to get your voice heard and you haven't already, head over to the YouTube community tab where you can go ahead and vote. Anyway, our bowl game looking to finish the year above 500 and not with a record of 6-7. Big run up the middle. Who is this guy at running back? A great play. Barry Tolzien already has 67 yards. He is balling. 7-7 here in the second quarter. Stokes only with one tackle so far as we pick up the fumble. And there he goes! No one's in front of him! Showboating! 10-5! Touchdown! A scoop and score for Kajai Stokes. Second career defensive touchdown. We had one in our very first game as a freshman, and now our final game as a junior. I guess we ran out of energy on that score. They took us out for the rest of the first half. A lot of points. 21-14. We scored 21 points in a half? We scored 21 points in like 2 games this year. Stokes with a big hit. Tipped and incomplete. No sacks yet. We're looking to get it into the double digits. We're currently at 8 on the year. Nearly another one there. What did I say earlier about edging us, man? We've got to finish off some of these plays. After getting 12 sacks last year, I didn't think we would sniff that number this year going to a new school and a different scheme. 8's pretty solid, though. Oh, my goodness, we made the wrong cut. That was our chance at the interception. We've been waiting for 3 years to grab the pick. We got our chance, and we blew it. 24-21 late in the third. This might be the highest combined score in an LSU game all year. And we still have another quarter to go. Stokes statistically has been pretty quiet today, although we do get some tackles on back-to-back plays. This running back, though, Barry Tolzien, has well over 100 yards against one of the best run defenses in the country. These SEC backs couldn't do it, but apparently South Florida can. Relaford in for the sack, the redshirt senior. He'll probably be a high pick in the NFL draft. Who knows? Maybe we'll join him. We are eligible. Under 6 minutes to go, a third down and long for USF. QB looks to throw it. Stokes dancing around in his zone. He'll slide right in front of us. Does not want to take the big hit, and honestly, I don't really blame him. Hopefully the offense can chew some clock. I don't know, maybe add some more points. We ended up doing neither of those things. South Florida gets it back. A little under 4 minutes to go, only down by 3. All they would need is a field goal to tie. It's a wide receiver screen. Runs right by Stokes for the first down. Stokes helps push him down, although that was not a good tackle angle originally. We didn't really play much after that. There's only 30 seconds left now. 27-21. Not looking good for USF. But, I mean, who knows? They could get a big touchdown and change something. But they're just going to run the ball. Why? They have no timeouts. You have the ball at your own 35, and you're running the ball in this spot? Huh? Why? Is that the worst play call you've ever seen? That's got to be up there. Third down and 13 now for the Bulls. Quarterback looks to throw it, looking deep down the field. It is tipped, incomplete. They ended up taking us out on 4th down, and luckily, the defense did not completely blow it. So LSU does win their bowl game, the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl, improving to a record of 7-6, and that is how we will wrap up our junior season. Obviously, this year did not go how we would have hoped as a team. I transferred here with the idea that we would be competing for a national championship, and that did not happen because our offense was utterly pathetic. Sonia Pulete makes Caden Simonza, the quarterback last year at Tulane, look like a god, and that guy sucked. Nonetheless, still a fun year individually. We were the most impactful defensive player in the country. 5 tackles, 1 for a loss, and a 45-yard scoop and score to finish out our junior season. As for our final stats, I was hoping to get up to 100 tackles on the year. Unfortunately, it did not quite happen. I needed to get double digits in this last game. Didn't quite happen. but we still get 94, 33 for a loss, 8 sacks, 3 fumble recoveries, a safety, and a defensive touchdown. Through 3 years, 259 tackles, 85 for a loss, and 26 sacks. That is a lot. Who won the national championship? Kentucky. And guess who their head coach is? They poached away Jeff Brom from their #1 rival, Louisville. My Louisville fans out there, if you guys need a hug, I get it. That's depressing. Cool to see Stokes there on the college football history tab, winning his awards. And now it's decision time. Do we stay at LSU? Do we leave for the NFL, or do we go to the portal? I don't hate the idea of running it back. I mean, this team was certainly disappointing this past season. I would hate for that to be my LSU legacy. Do we go back to Tulane? We had a good thing going there. Or do we go to one of the big schools? We would be a starter everywhere except for Kentucky. Oddly enough, I guess that's how they won the national championship. We could go back to the Tigers. We could go back to Tulane. We can play anywhere else to compete for a national championship. Or we could leave for the NFL. We're certainly good enough. Bednarik, Nagurski, Dick Butkus Award winner. Probably would end up being a first-round pick. Although, the next episode, our senior season, would be pretty quick if we declared for the NFL. So let me know what you guys want to see us do down below in the comments. Going into our senior season, the final episode of the Kajai Stokes Road to Glory will be next time. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Peace out.